What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? We're going to get started in just a minute doing an impromptu Titans and Truth episode. We're going to be getting started in just a moment. Y'all come on in and everything. And make sure y'all spread this word out to everybody, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram. My Facebook is TNT Enforcers. Also, Instagram at Titans_N_Truth. And also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. So y'all come on in. We're gonna be getting started in just a moment. Just making sure we spread this show out to everybody and making sure everybody knows that this show is going on live. I know some of y'all are maybe at work right now. I know some of y'all are just looking for something, maybe to keep your work day going and things like that. So we are gonna make sure everybody is okay, and we're gonna make sure that we have a good time here on the show. So give me just a moment. We're gonna definitely get everything started in just a little bit. Hope everybody doing all right today. Give me just a second. I'm just having some technical difficulties. Small technical difficulty, but we're going to be continuing shortly. So give me just a quick second. So I hope everybody doing all right out there, and I hope everybody's doing real good. So y'all come in, and we're about to get started in just a minute. We got a big packed show coming up today. We're going to be doing a lot of talking. We're going to be doing a lot of talking about some things happening at training camp. We're also going to be talking about the practice coming up. And I also have a very special Shut Your Piehole moment. Since I am a few days behind, I got a Shut Your Piehole moment I think all of y'all might agree on. So we're definitely going to get started here in just a quick second. And make sure y'all spread the word. And make sure y'all spread the word so that everybody else know what's going on and they can come on in too. So um, and everything. So y'all give me just a second. There we are. Sorry, I had to grab some water. Y'all know how I get. So Hoping everybody doing good. I'm just making sure we share this thing out. So y'all make sure y'all share this show to everybody. And we are about to get started. So thank y'all for sticking with me this morning. I hope everybody doing all right. And we are gonna have a funky good time. There we go. All right. There we are. So, all right, we're finna go ahead. We're finna get this show on and popping. And we are about to have us a heck of a good time. Here we go. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tightened up. Tightened up. Tightened up. It's a brand new dance and we about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. Push it, tighten two step, step, step to the right. Then you tighten two step, step, step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Game face, yeah, we got it on. Sticking out our chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Countdown. It's about to get rough. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Two step, step, step to the right, to the tighten. Two step, step, step to the left. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest, beating on it like it's King Kong. Okay, alright, alright. Titans got your hands all night. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Titans gonna win anyway. First down, come on, we about to shut. Instead of good evening, we're going to say good morning, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome to an impromptu edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a fun episode for you this morning. I know a lot of y'all are probably at work right now. A lot of y'all are probably getting up, heading to work, or, probably just not doing this. I decided to do an impromptu episode because I should have did one a couple of days ago. I'm having some things going on. I'm actually, as you can see, I'm not in my usual man cave. I am actually live here in Memphis, Tennessee. I am doing the show live remotely, so I got some things going on here, and that's why I'm here. But I decided I got to do a show for my people. I got to bring out some more stuff because the season is here. It's upon us. We had our first preseason game last night. Got to watch a little bit of that with the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. Denver getting the win 14-10 over the Atlanta Falcons. I saw a few things that were pretty impressive, but I saw some things that were not. But it's one thing that is certain. Football is back, ladies and gentlemen. It is back and in full effect, and I could not be any more excited. So we got, Titans football. The preseason game is a week away, and we got the Eagles coming up. That's our first game up in Philadelphia. And then, of course, on my birthday, August 17th, we have those New England Patriots coming to town, which, of course, there will be two practices with the New England Patriots on August 14th and 15th, which I will be in attendance for. And then, of course, we got the Steelers on the 25th. It'll be on NBC for that game. And then we wrap up against the Chicago Bears to end the preseason. So, as many of y'all pile on in, make sure, again, y'all share this out. There's an arrow at the bottom of your screen right there. There's an arrow at the bottom of your screen. That is the share arrow. So make sure y'all share it out. Matt Necron, what's up, man? Long time no speak. Man, we haven't collabed in a while. We're going to have to catch up sometime. But, that's a very nice preseason schedule, and we're going to get to see what this team is about. So let's go ahead and let's get into the show. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody. Make sure y'all share this out to everybody, let everybody know that the show is going on right now. I usually do it, of course, on Wednesday nights, but I had some things going on, so I'm doing an impromptu show today because I wanted to make sure I got one in for the week and everything that's going on, because y'all know that I'm here to bring in the best coverage of Tennessee Titans football that I possibly can. And I'm thinking some more is definitely going to be on the way. And I think I might be getting some more. I have a big announcement at the end of the show as well. So I thank everybody for tuning in. But let's get started with the show. Now, first off, let's talk about the NFL Network had their top 100 list come out. And y'all let me know if y'all can't hear me very well, or make sure that y'all can hear me very well and everything as I talk to you. So make sure that the sound is good and everything, because I don't have my usual microphone that I always have since I'm out of town. But let's talk about this top 100 list. They had the 100 list come out. And there's been a little bit of outrage, especially for my homeboy Jared Stillman at 102.5 The Game, basically saying that it's wrong that Tom Brady is not number one on that list. I'm actually glad he's not number one. I don't think he should be number one this time. Aaron Donald was number one. Drew Brees was number two. I believe Todd Gurley was number five. Patrick Mahomes was number four on that list. I forgot. Oh, Khalil Mack was number three. That's what it was. So it was Aaron Donald one, Drew Brees two, Khalil Mack three, Patrick Mahomes four, and five was Todd Gurley. And then, of course, at number six was Golden Boy Tom Brady. Y'all know how I hate saying that name. Y'all know I hate saying that name. And Matt, I'm gonna make sure I definitely do that. I will definitely do that. So, you know, I I'm actually glad that happened, but I heard there was some outrage. Jared Stillman on 102.5 The Game was not very happy yesterday when discussing the list. He basically saying that Tom Brady's the greatest of all time, which Tom Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I still don't think he is the greatest of all time. I'm sorry. I know he has 6 Super Bowls, but that's just me. I think there are some quarterbacks in history that are way better. I mean, let's take a look at Bart Starr, Roger Staubach, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw. You know, um, those quarterbacks were better. And you cannot just say, oh, they're the greatest of all time because of how many rings they won and everything. I know that is a big part of it. I know that is a huge part of it. But you can't just go off of rings alone. Now, do I agree Tom Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? As much as I hate to admit it, yes, he is one of. He's just not the greatest to me. I don't care. I might get blasted for this. And if I do, go right ahead. That's cool. That's cool. We can have a friendly discussion, a friendly debate. We can agree to disagree. And that's just what we're gonna have to do. So yeah, when Jared was talking about that, I just couldn't do nothing but laugh. I'm like, come on, Jared, stop that, stop that, stop that. Okay, I understand, but it's all right if somebody else is number one on the list, on the top 100 list, instead of Tom Brady. It's about time. It's time for something different. We can't, it gets boring when the same thing keeps going on, and it's time for a change. So I don't mind that. Matt, I agree. Peyton was the greatest I've ever seen play. Peyton, that is a very good suggestion. Peyton Manning, even though he's only got 2 Super Bowl rings, the guy played some quarterback. I mean, he knew how to manipulate everything. He knew how to make the defense think the way he wanted them to think. And then he messed them up. So that's exactly what you're supposed to do. So again, I'm not saying that Tom Brady's not one of the greatest of all time. I'm not gonna, as much as I can't stand Tom Brady, I'm gonna give the devil his due. Tom Brady is one hell of a quarterback. He just ain't the greatest to me. Sorry. That's just how I feel. But the real reason I brought up the top 100 list is that there were 3 Titans that made the top 100 list. Derrick Henry at 99, Jarrell Casey at 92, Taylor Lewan at 77. Those are the three Titan players that made the list. And you notice that no one made it higher than Taylor Lewan at number 77. After that, There were no other Titan players listed. Which brings me to my first point of the day. Kevin Byard, who just got a big-time contract extension, well deserved, by the way, was left off the list. Was not even picked. And here is my reaction to Kevin Byard not being on the top 100. Utter disrespect. That tells you that the rest of the players in the NFL don't know what the heck they're doing. I mean, a this is a list. What's up, Titans Hub? And I was glad to meet you, by the way, last week. Man, much appreciation. Guys, let me tell you about Titans Hub right quick, and I'm going to get back into that. He's the guy for recent games for Madden. He helped create, like, the faces of some of the Tennessee Titan players, and he helped on other teams as well. He worked for EA for a while and did some custom, did the faces for the players and things like that. So that was actually really cool, and I was glad to get to meet him and everything. So Titan Hub, what's up with you, man? Great work that you did, and I like some of the work that you already did. But back to Kevin Byard. The fact that he was not listed on the top 100, I thought was an absolute travesty. I thought it was a sheer form of disrespect. I mean, this dude just got paid and became the highest paid safety in the league, and you're telling me he can't get on the list? You're telling me other guys like Eddie Jackson and Jalen Ramsey and Byron Jones in Dallas all the list before him? Really? Come on, y'all. That deserves dunces of the month moments. And I haven't even gotten into that moment yet of the season where we do that. But yeah, a dunce of the month has to go to all the other NFL players who voted, who are not Titans, who voted and did not vote Kevin Byard in. And the fact of the matter is that Kevin Byard not being on this list is a shame. He had 4 interceptions last year. Uh, he had 8 the year before 2017 and was on the top 100. And then you don't put him on this year after he gets another 4 and literally now becomes the highest paid safety in the league. Come on, y'all. Kevin Byard, I think, was ranked in the 70s last year. He could have at least made it into the top 60 or the top 50. I just thought that was a daggone shame. And that is really messed up that, he didn't make the list. I understand why Marcus Mariota didn't make the list. I thought maybe Corey Davis had a shot at the list, but I understand why on that one too. Another player, Jayon Brown. I have no idea why Jayon Brown did not make the list. Jayon Brown had a phenomenal season last year, and he doesn't even make the top 100. That it's wrong. But you know what that does? That's just going to put this team with an even bigger chip on their shoulder. They're going to want to come out and prove some stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm all for that. I don't mind. Come out, play angry. And as Mike Vrabel has said in some practices before, I think it was they did the recap of the Titans season last year. He like, be violent. I want to see some violence. I'm like, that's what I want to see. I want to see some violence from the offense. I want to see some violence from the defense. I'm not talking about causing stupid, unnecessary roughness penalties, but I'm talking about hard hits, hard blocks. I want Derrick Henry running some people over. I want Corey Davis making big catches over people. I want Marcus Mariota to stay healthy. Things like that. That's what I want to see. And I think this team really does have a chip on the shoulder because they didn't make the playoffs last year. A lot of people are still disrespecting them. And, you know, um, and that's something that I think we could use to our advantage. Even though we have a very tough schedule, it shouldn't matter. We've seen teams in the past who had very tough schedules do very, very well. And we've seen teams who had very easy schedules not as well. We've seen teams that have very tough schedules that ended up finishing 11-5 or 12-4, and we've seen teams that had the easiest schedule in the league finish 3-13, 6-10, and things like that. So, yeah, it could definitely happen, and I think this team will have a chip on their shoulder. Now, the first preseason game is a week away, so this is basically me picking y'all brains a little bit. And I can ask questions and pick mine too. So we're gonna go into a pick my brain segment. Pick my brain. Pick my brain. And if you haven't, if you're late watching this, just go ahead and add a comment on the stream or on my Facebook. You want to ask me some questions, I'll answer it off air. But here's my question: going with the first preseason game and with the regular season just a little over 5 weeks away, who has the most pressure on them? And in this instance, I'm going to take out Marcus Mariota. So Marcus Mariota is not included in this question. Who has the most pressure on them besides Marcus Mariota? Because we know Marcus Mariota has pressure on him. It's his 5th year. He's trying to get a contract extension. He's got to prove he's got to stay healthy. He's got to prove he can make the throws and lead the team to the playoffs and things like that. So we know Marcus has the pressure on him. But who besides him has the pressure on him? Is it Derrick Henry going into a contract year? Is it Corey Davis taking that next step, maybe getting over 1,000 yards or getting over 1,100 yards? Is it the offensive line? Is it Jack Conklin? He is going into a contract year, and the Titans did not pick up his 5th-year option. You know, could it be Delaney Walker coming back from injury? Can he prove he still got it? Cameron Wake, a lot of people think that he's a situational pass rusher. Is it possible that he could prove I could be an every down pass rusher? Is it Harold Landry to take that next step? Is it any of the defensive linemen to play along Jarrell Casey? What about the secondary? Adoree Jackson, who maybe in a small way took a step back. Can he step up? Byard honoring his contract. Vaccaro got paid earlier this season. Rashaan Evans, Jayon Brown. So there's many possibilities. So I want to hear from y'all. Who do y'all think has the biggest amount of pressure on them? And again, I also forgot to mention, what about Mike Vrabel? Pressure could be on him to get this team to the playoffs. Because remember, Mike Vrabel was hired after the Tennessee Titans fired Mike Mularkey, who got them to the playoffs and a playoff victory. And Vrabel was brought in to do better than that. Is there pressure on him? Is there pressure on John Robinson? I believe this is year 4 for John Robinson. Is there pressure on him? So I want to hear y'all thoughts on that. I think we see Titans Hub says, I think it's Henry. He said, oh, snap, I forgot about Jack. I think Jack is going to prove himself. He's going pretty hard. I think for me, personally, I'm going to give a player on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm going to give a player on the defensive side of the ball. And I think Titans Hub hit on an excellent point. And AZ Mick, I think, agrees. I think we're getting it right. It's Jack Conklin. I think Jack Conklin, besides Marcus Mariota, has the biggest pressure on him. Derrick Henry was a 2nd-round pick. Jack Conklin was a 1st-round pick. And not only that, the Tennessee Titans, he was the first pick after that trade with the Rams that got the Rams Jared Goff when we got the number 1 pick. And we traded back and got all those picks. Jack Conklin was that first pick because remember, we were 15. We moved up to 8 to draft Jack Conklin. He was an all-pro his first year, and then the last 2 years has been injury-riddled. So I absolutely agree with the nail on the head. It is Jack Conklin, at least on the offensive side of the ball, and probably for the entire team, He has the most pressure because number one, he was picked eighth in the draft. Number two, his fifth year option wasn't picked up. Number three, he has been injury riddled for the last 2 seasons. He's got to prove he can stay healthy and make it through 16 games. And so if he does that, maybe by the end of the year he gets a new deal. And any offensive lineman, for any offensive lineman, especially picked in the top 10, you're supposed to be with that team for at least 10 to 12 years. At least. So Jack Conklin, I think, has a lot of pressure on him in this first year. On the defensive side of the ball, I think the player that probably has the most pressure on him in this this season coming up, I'm actually gonna go a little bit of a different route. I am going to say, and they haven't really said this much, I'm actually going to go with the Titans secondary. And in particular, Adoree Jackson and Malcolm Butler are starting safeties. And I'm going to throw Logan Ryan in this too because Logan Ryan, he's in a contract year as well. I think the Titans want to bring Logan Ryan back, but at a lesser cost. $10 million a year is a little bit too much, but Logan Ryan has done pretty well. Can he come back from injury? Can Adoree Jackson take that next step and become an elite shutdown corner? Can Malcolm Butler continue to build on a good second half of last season and not get burned and tortured like he did in the first half of last season? So I think the Titans secondary have a lot of pressure on them as well. So that's something that we're definitely going to keep an eye on because I mean you got to remember, Adoree Jackson. Yes, he had 2 interceptions, but there were some times like the Indianapolis game where he just got destroyed in that game. He got destroyed in that game, and he had some other instances where he did not look as good. Malcolm Butler had that bad first half of the season, but then turned it around the second half of the year. Ended with I want to say he had 4 interceptions. He had 3 or 4 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken, because I know he had one against the Redskins, one against the Jets. He had one against Miami in the first game of the season. So that's going to be a step up. Can Byard live up to the contract? Can Vaccaro live up to his contract? He got rewarded. So I think this secondary does have some pressure on him. If Adoree takes a big step, that will be a great boost, C-Dub says. And that will be a big thing. What's up to you, C-Dub? And so, yeah, I think the Titans secondary do have some pressure on them. But I think overall, Jack Conklin has the most pressure. And I want y'all to continue answering that question as we keep going and everything. And I'll make sure I put some comments on there. The next thing I want to talk about, of course, with the Titans secondary, there has been some talk about Amani Hooker and how he's looked in practice. Kevin Byard has been very complimentary of him. Terry McCormick of Titans Insider did an article about Amani Hooker and how his role has expanded. He's been doing some work in the three safety look in the dime package and has been in some big situations. Has been in some big nickel situations as well to help cover tight ends. So um, I like how they're seeing Amani Hooker getting some action and things like that. So that could be a big step for him. And he's working with the first group. Of course, practice is going on right now as we speak. I hate I'm not there, but I'm definitely keeping up on Bleacher Report, seeing some things that's going on. And he's been picking up a lot of things quickly and everything. So I definitely like where Amani Hooker is headed with that. So I'm actually trying to get some trying to see any updates from Titans training camp. Of course, I saw that Corey Davis started off in the individual period, but then went inside for the team period, which he went inside to the team facility and did not come back out. And so, people are hoping maybe he earns some time off, maybe a day off or anything, and hoping that it's not an injury. And he said they were like, there was no limp or nothing noticeable. Just maybe something to look at. So we got to take a look at that with Corey Davis. Hopefully, it's nothing minor or major. Nate Davis is not practicing right now. David Llewellyn limped off of practice after individual drills. Wide receiver Khalif Raymond getting some work with the ones a little bit. Kevin Pomfield is at right guard right now. Um, Along with Emil Douglas at left guard. So I'm just giving you some updates of things that's going on the team practice right now. Of course, not practicing right now. AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, Wesley Woodyard, Nate Davis, Cam Wake, Roger Saffold, Frank Herron. I think Wesley Woodyard probably earned a day off. Cameron Wake, they're probably giving him some time off. And Saffold, I don't know why they're giving Saffold so much time off. I'm not sure exactly why he's getting all that time off and things like that. So that's kind of something that I am interested to get some more information on with that. So um, let's see. CW saying a lot of people are talking about how smart Hooker is and how he's taking off. I like Damani Hooker coming out of Iowa. I thought that was actually a very nice pickup for them in the fourth round. I thought it was very interesting that they traded up to get him, and I thought that was a very good pickup. So I am very impressed with what he's been doing. Let's see, C Dub says CD as in Corey Davis is ready for a massive year. Heard talk about even the other day he was a lead pull blocker and took out two defenders. Corey Davis has gotten better with blocking and things like that, and he has to be that leader in the receiving room. He needs to be a major leader in that receiving room because we are expecting big things from him. Definitely with that. So we're definitely going to be paying attention to Corey Davis on that. So yeah, that's definitely a lot of pressure. And definitely shout out to Amani Hooker. Another thing that's been going on is Adam Humphries. Adam Humphries has continued to have a very good camp for the Tennessee Titans. Always seems to find himself open. Always seems to have a good connection with Marcus, and there's a reason behind that. It looks like prior to training camp, Adam Humphries went out to Oregon to visit Marcus and to work out with him. Got to visit some of Marcus's family, got to learn about him and get to know him, play some golf. And they also got to work out together on the field. And that, I think, building that relationship is going to be extremely beneficial, not only to Adam Humphries, but to Marcus Mariota and to the team as well. Because once again, like Delaney Walker, like Corey Davis, Adam Humphries will become that security blanket. He's going to become that go-to receiver because remember when Adam Humphries had over 76 catches last year, 61% of his catches went for first downs. So Marcus is going to definitely be looking for Adam Humphries when it's third down or when it's like second and short or anything like that. He's going to definitely be looking to his security blankets. And so I commend Adam Humphries for going out to Oregon, getting with Marcus, building that chemistry so that during the season, that chemistry seriously takes off. Let's see. Titans Hub says Adam is crazy good. He will be our new Walker. CW says I like the Humphrey signing because of how much Marcus likes to throw the 10 to 15-yard area, and Logan is one of our best slot corners out there. He's struggling to cover him. So yeah, and I think one of the other corners was kept saying it best. It was like he always seems to be open, and that's something that's going to be extremely important. So if Adam Humphries can continue to just get open, then he's going to do wonders for Marcus Mariota without a doubt. Of that. Another thing that I've been paying attention to is the shifts in the offensive line. We've seen a lot of different guys getting looks. Of course, with Taylor Lewan facing that 4-game suspension, um, Dennis Kelly has been mainly working at left tackle. Of course, Jack Conklin's at right tackle. Ben Jones is at center. Of course, yesterday, Ben Jones got some work at right guard, and Corey Levin got some work at center. Of course, today, Jamil Douglas, a rookie, is getting some work with the ones at left guard, and Kevin Pomfield is at right guard. Nate Davis has gotten some work at right guard. Um, and things like that. So, Mike Vrabel is really taking a very hard look at the entire offensive line because you want to get the best five out there that can protect Marcus and keep him upright. So you could tell this is a big deal, and this is all helping for Marcus. So you can tell that's a big deal because they're trying to find the right person to go at right guard or at center. Corey Levin has gotten some looks at center. They may move Ben Jones to right guard. They may start with Kevin Pomfield. They may even go to Nate Davis and say Nate's ready to start. But you do know that Taylor Warren will eventually be on the left side, but until then it'll be Dennis Kelly. Roger Saffold will start at left guard no matter what's going on. I think Ben Jones will stick at center. But I think the main position of battle is for that right guard position. It could be Ben Jones and move Corey Levin in if they think he's ready to start. It could be Kevin Pomfield. It could be Nate Davis, or even Jamil Douglas could sneak up in there. But I think he'll at least Jamil Douglas has at least got a shot at making the team. And then of course Jack Conklin is at right tackle. So I definitely see some work going on there. CW said Landry and Finch need to be very good. If they are, this defense could be top three, maybe number one. Um, I'm not going to stretch out that far just yet on the defensive side of the ball, but I will admit I have seen a lot of Landry and Finch working with the ones. I think Harold Landry, he had over 4.5 sacks last year in his first year. I need him to get that up to over 10. I need him to get over 10 sacks. And if he does that, he's going to take that step into being elite. And I think he has a great chance to do that. Sharif Finch definitely made a lot of strides last year. The Philly game was one of them, where he did make those strides. So if Sharif Finch could take a step forward, maybe adds another 5 or 6 sacks along with, over 10 for Harold Landry. And then even Cameron Wake comes in and gives you 7 or 8 sacks. That'll be something good. Cameron Wake could end up starting. So we don't know about that either. So we're going to definitely find out as this training camp keeps going. And so, yeah, I agree. If Finch takes that step and if Harold Landry takes that next step, this defense is going to be scary. This defense is going to be scary good. And not to mention, all of this is going on, and I haven't even talked about the potential of Rashawn Evans also rushing from the outside, and and this is all without Jeffrey Simmons. Think of what would happen if you add Jeffrey Simmons into the mix at the end of the year. This defense is going to be one people are not going to want to see come playoff time. And CW says, has the NFL even confirmed yet the Lewan suspension is active? They have not confirmed that yet, at least to my knowledge. Taylor Warren is expecting the suspension, but I haven't heard the NFL just say, yes, Taylor Warren is going to be suspended the first 4 games, but it looks like that's what's going to happen. And of course, Taylor Warren is going to appeal that suspension. And so I'm thinking if they at least appeal it, maybe they could get it down to 2 games or something like that. So I'm hoping that they can get it down to maybe 2 games instead of 4 with that. So that's what I'm hoping for. CW says the great reason why I have great confidence in this team is from what I've seen from Vrabel and how players give it their all for him. And Pease is the most underrated coordinator in the NFL. I agree. I think this team has really bought in to Mike Vrabel. They've bought into what he wants to do. They've bought into the notion of going from good to great. Instead of just being good, they want to be great. And he says that all the time. He's like, when I ask you how you doing, don't say I'm doing good because that's gonna be you're gonna get punished for that. He like, you better say I'm doing great. He's like, to everything that you do, say that you're great. Say that you're going from good to great, and that's something that is going to be very important. And my definition of going from good to great is being better than you were the year before. Last couple of years we've been 9-7. It's time to be better than that. It's time to be greater than that. It's time to be 10-6. It's time to be 11-5. It's time to be 12-4. It's time to go from just being a possible division winner to winning divisions. It's time to go up to getting first round buys or getting the number one seed, get to the AFC Championship, get to a Super Bowl, and eventually win a Super Bowl. That's going from good to great. And that's what this team is trying to do. So I really think this team can take that next step, even with this tough schedule. But they really gotta keep it together, bring it together, take on the onus of their coach. Some things got to break healthy wise. Marcus got to remain healthy. That's going to be a very big point of all of this. And if they can do that, sky is the limit for this football team, in my honest opinion. Of course, this Saturday we have the big Titans kickoff party at Nissan Stadium. There's going to be a scrimmage this Saturday from 6 to 10. So the scrimmage will be from about 6 to 8, and then they're going to have a concert afterwards, fireworks and things like that. I believe Jake Owen is the guy that's going to be performing. It is free. Parking is free. So definitely show up and show out for the Tennessee Titans as they are going to scrimmage. And one thing that they're going to be doing is that they have captains like Marcus. Marcus, among others. Marcus is going to captain one team, and I believe is either Matt Dickerson or Daquan Jones. Somebody's going to be captaining another team. And so, they're actually doing a draft, like a pick 'em type of situation that, like, just like we were in the um, backyard playing football and stuff like that. So players are going to be picking other players to be on their team for this scrimmage on Friday. And I thought that was pretty unique. And you know what? CW brings up a person I didn't even think about as far as having pressure on them. And this is the thing he's saying. He said, if Arthur Smith can keep defenses guessing, that will help us give us a great boost. I heard that he is saying to Marcus, take more deep shots. Arthur Smith has pressure on him as well, and I think he has less pressure than other people because this is his first time being an offensive coordinator, going to be his first time calling plays. But he's been around this team for the last 8 years. He was around when Marcus got drafted. He was around when Derek got drafted. Corey got drafted. When a lot of these guys got drafted, he was around. He was around either as a quality control coach or as a tight ends coach. And, the tight end group really took a step forward last year with Michael Pruitt, Anthony Ferkser. Jonathan Smith was making strides until he got hurt. That was because of Arthur Smith. He made some guys better. And so he could help make this entire offense better with that. So, Arthur Smith does have a little bit of pressure on him. Definitely not as much as I would say Jack Conklin or Mike Vrabel or anybody else that I've mentioned. But that is going to be an interesting dynamic that we see is Arthur Smith's calling of the offense going to help this team as well. And that's something that we're definitely going to find out. But last but not least, it is time for that favorite moment. You love it. I love it. Before I do that, Titans Up says, but Arthur don't have nothing to lose. And that's good, scary. I agree. He doesn't have nothing to lose. And that's why I said he has a little pressure on him, but definitely not as great as, like I said, Jack Conklin or others. His pressure gauge, I think, if it was 1 to 10, like 10 being like succeed or get fired, one no pressure at all. I'm gonna say like a 2. He really doesn't have that, but he really doesn't have any pressure on him. But he does have a little bit because, I mean, he's got to take this offense off, and I think he has a chance to be an offensive coordinator for this team for years to come because he's not a guy that everybody's just gonna look at for head coaching jobs. I mean, although they could, but I don't see that happening. I think he's going to have a chance to seriously stick as an offensive coordinator for many years to come. Now, now it's time for for one of my favorite segments that I love to do, and I have slated this for every end of the month show. So for every Wednesday or every week at the end of the month, I do what we call your Shut Your Piehole Moment. Your Shut Your Piehole Moment. And this is where, of course, if there are things going on in the world of sports or in around the Titans that I'm just thinking is ridiculous, stupid, or anything, or something that's just uncalled for, that is where we would like to tell that person or tell the group, shut your pie hole. Shut your pie hole. And this week's and this uh and this shut your pie hole moment, I have got to give it to the security staff that is assigned to the Titan practices. I believe it's WESS security. And you know what? Again, as my PSA will always say, these are the opinions of me and the show of Titans and Truth. These are my thoughts. These are TNT's thoughts alone. And this is not from anybody else. This is my thoughts on this matter. And so this is what I think with this Titan security. You've noticed that the security at the Titan practices have really been ramped up for this year. And, they don't allow, they won't let people stand along the fence close to the practices, close to where like on the other side of the fence is the media or where the practice is going on. They won't let you stand there until like his autograph session. They they won't let you record any of the plays going on. So like if I wanted to go live on Facebook or if I wanted to just do a quick video, they won't let you do that. Basically saying they won't let you stand in certain areas and stuff like that. Like they're really, really strict. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. I understand that the security team, they have a job to do. They're trying to, protect the players. They're trying to protect the media. They don't want nobody being a crazy fan, hopping over the barrier of the fence or hopping over the barrier of the rope, going onto the field. I understand that part. That part I'm cool with. I understand that. And so the fact of the matter is, you're not even allowed to use your phones and stuff like that. You can record, you can take, they won't even, you know, they won't even let you take pictures and things like that. And that was something that was very, very, very upsetting to me. As Titans Hub said, he drove all the way from Florida and said he couldn't even use his phone. He was upset about that. Um, I mean, I thought it was ridiculous. I understand people have to do their jobs and things like that, but I think a lot of them went overboard. Was kind of taking their job too seriously. I'm like, come on. I think a lot of people um have the respect to understand what the situation is and what's going on out there. I think a lot of people knew not to run on the field. A lot of people understand that, there's a practice going on and you can't interrupt practice. I mean, come on. I think some people have some common sense with that. And I just thought that was ridiculous. Um, Juan and only. What's up, Juan? I'm glad you were able to catch it. I'm glad to seen you last week too. So I'm glad to hear it. But definitely watch the playback. CW says, how about shut your pie hole for the whole top 100 list for the NFL for not having Byron on the list? What games are some of these players watching who vote on the list? CW, Go back to the first part of the show. I talked about that. And you know what? That is a good part of Shut Your Piehole. Shut Your Piehole to all the players besides Titan players who did not vote for Kevin Byard. I mentioned that at the beginning of the show about Kevin Byard not being on the top 100 list. So I agree with that. But yeah, back on the security situation, and this is why I really talk about it. So I was arriving at practice, and I spoke to Amy Wells for a minute because we talked to each other on Twitter. I actually met Tiffany Blackman from the NFL Network. I talked to her, gave her my card. We were talking for a minute because I forgot to really get some more information from her because I was going to invite her to come on the show and things like that. And so as I was going to my seat, I saw Mike Keith. I saw the voice of the Titans, Mike Keith, and I also saw John Glennon, formerly of the Tennessean, who works for the Athletic. And so I was gonna go up. Introduce myself to John Glennon because I hadn't met him before. And Mike Keith, I think, remembered me from the rookie gala, and we did a video. And so I was going to talk to them, exchange some information, network with them and everything, because y'all know I'm working on getting in the media and I'm trying to network with these different, people in the media so that, build connections, build relationships. And so as I'm doing that, and I'm just talking to them, I'm not, trying to get on the field. I'm not trying to do anything wrong. The security guy comes up to me talking about you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. You can't be right here. And I'm thinking, I'm not interrupting anybody. I'm sitting here talking to John Glenn and Mike Keith. I'm trying to talk to them, and he just comes and interrupts our whole conversation, just being all kinds of disrespectful. And I did not appreciate that at all. I'm like, I'm not here trying to be a crazy fan. I'm here trying to do business. I'm here trying to network. I'm here trying to connect and do some things. Me trying to be in the media, and y'all won't even let me do that. I'm not trying to interrupt practice or anything like that. So that was something that was very, very upsetting to me, and things like that. Like I spoke to Zach Bingham of A to Z Sports for a moment, and Buck Rising of A to Z Sports now. And I only was able to talk to them for a brief minute because, again, I didn't want security to be buttholes to me. And um, I was just upset. That just, I was not very happy about that at all. I just thought, and one of the security ladies was nice. She was like, I'm sorry. I know y'all trying to be close and everything, but we gotta, we're just trying to do our jobs and things like that, which I understand. I understand that. And she was, she wasn't being disrespectful or anything. I understand that. But I'm just saying, as far as other people, just taking their job way too serious, like, you gotta get back, no exceptions. And so I was actually doing a little video, and I was just showing me. Like, I was showing me. I wasn't even showing the practice, and the so-called supervisor looking at me with this mean look on his face, like, you gotta shut it off, shut it off, shut it off. I'm like, dude, you thinking I'm you thinking I'm recording? Who am I going to give these videos to that if I'm doing one? You think I'm gonna tell the Patriots? Oh my God, I'm gonna call Bill Belichick up on there and be like, yeah, I got a video of this play the Titans were practicing on 3 weeks ago. I want to send it to you. You think I'm gonna do that? Come on, man. That's just stupid. So to the security team that was out there at Nissan Stadium, shut your pie hole and let us be fans. That's all I'm saying. And so that's just what I had to say about that. Um Titans Hub comes in and says, that white dude with the sunglasses, I think I know how you talk. I think I know who you're talking about. And you know what? The supervisor who was talking to me like that, yes, he did have some glasses on, a little bit of gray hair and stuff like that. I mean, just all kinds of disrespectful. And I didn't appreciate that one bit. I'm like, like I said, who are we gonna give the tape to? You think we're gonna tell other teams about it? We got spies coming in. Come on, man. Don't be ridiculous. Come on. You see me in Titans Gear representing the Titans, and I'm just trying to do work. And you won't even let me do that. Just outright disrespectful. I'm barely able to get the coverage that I'm barely able in practice to get the coverage that I do because I'm restricted. And so I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm trying to get into the media. I'm trying to provide quality for all of you, and they're not letting me do my job. So I'm just, yeah, shut your pothole to WESS security. Bang. And so CW, I appreciate this. I really like your coverage. It would be great if A to Z hired you and you would not have that issue. Titans Hub comes and says, "We are the fans. Why would we give info anyway?" Exactly. 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 Why would I give some information to another team? For what? For what? Why would I do that? Come on. And you know what, CW, it would be cool if A to Z did hire me, and everything. I have a pretty good relationship with Austin Stanley, and I've talked to Bug Rising, and I'm working on having. I'm gonna be working on getting Buck Rising on the show. I'm gonna try to get Buck Rising to call in and talk to him. And I want to thank Teron Davenport, ESPN reporter. We had a pretty good lengthy conversation for a moment after practice as well. I mean, Teron is one of the coolest people on this planet. He is cool as the other side of the pillow, and Teron is one of my favorite people. Like Teron, he has no problem coming on the show. I've had him on the show multiple times. When I said what's up to him, he recognized me immediately, and I appreciate that. So, I definitely got to give some love to Teron, to Buck Rising, to everybody that spoke to me and things like that. So we're gonna definitely make that happen. Uh, Titans and Hub need to do your own thing. You know what? I know you said you could help me with the graphics and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. A shut your pie hole graphic would be kind of cool. Um, it can be done. And so we're gonna make some things happen. And so um he's brutally honest with people. Might not like that, but I do. CW says of Davenport and Buck. I agree. And that's what I bring to y'all. And that's what I'm bringing to y'all with Titans and Truth. The fact of the matter is, I am very objective. And I think all of y'all know this. That I'm going to praise the team when they do well. I'm going to criticize them when they don't. I love this team, but I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to be biased. If I think something needs to be criticized or something is incorrect, even with Titan players, I'm going to say it. I'm going to address it. And so that's just what we're going to have to, that's just what has to be done. You got to be objective, not subjective. You got to keep it real. That's why the other part of it is truth. We tell the truth on this show, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So before I get out of here, I have a unofficial announcement to make to everybody. Um, I'm going to be moving to Memphis in the coming months. So unfortunately, I'm going to be leaving Nashville and coming down here to Memphis fully. However, Titans and Truth ain't going nowhere. Even here in Memphis, Titans and Truth is still going to be going. I will be up in Nashville quite a bit of time, quite a few times. So I'm going to be up there. And so a lot of things are going to be happening for Titans and Truth. A lot of big things are coming for Titans and Truth as well. And the reason why I say that is because I have recently um, accepted a radio internship that's going to turn into a full-time job with a radio station that's growing here in Memphis called Rap 98. That's Rap WRAP 98.com internet radio. So definitely check out their website. Definitely check out their website and everything. And this company, I'm telling you, this radio station is on the come up. They play the best in hip hop. They play the best in hip hop and R&B. They're really catering to um, indie artists, to undiscovered talent that they're trying to get their music out there. They're going to be working with me as far as we're going to be launching Titans and Truth on a whole bigger scale, and it's going to be major. So expect that coming within the coming months, within this year. Some big things are coming with Titans and Truth, and that's going to be a part of it with Rap 98. So I'm going to be one of their new radio personalities. So some big things are coming. Like again, we're working on making some things official. We gotta just finish up covering some stuff with cutting some red tape. We gotta finish dotting some I's, crossing some T's, and finishing that up, which we're gonna be doing soon. And then I will officially be putting this out. So this is unofficial. This is unofficial. It's not official yet, but I have been brought on to their team. Shout out to my guy Carlos Coleman, and to his lovely wife Dee Dee, and his daughter, one of the directors. So they're bringing me on. I'm going to be doing some work not only here but in Nashville as well. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. Going to be having some media access. There are some big things coming, y'all, with me. So y'all better stay tuned. This thing is about to blow up, and it is about to be huge. And y'all want to be along for the ride, because Titans and Truth, myself, Blue Enforcer, it's about to get big. It is about to get big on major, major levels. So let me read some more comments before I get out of here. Tell you the truth, that's why I watched the show. It's real. Real, man. Facts. CW says, if Sweat for the Skins has a great year, that will hurt me. I agree, because I wanted Montez Sweat. Titans Hope says, go for it. Boom. I appreciate that. So y'all check out that website, rap98.com. Check out that website. Learn more about that. They got some stations in Chicago, Atlanta. They're about to do one in Philly. They got an office in Nashville they're about to go with. So they're doing big things, and I'm going to be doing big things with them. But everybody, I want to thank y'all for sticking with me this morning. Make sure, again, y'all share this show out. Share the show out to all the Titans groups in Facebook. So y'all help me out. Share the Titans groups out. The post that I put on TNT Enforcers or on my page, share it out to everybody at Chris A. Newell or TNT Enforcers. Instagram at TNT, at Titans _N _truth. On Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. That's TNT BLUEN number 4 CER. And again, the website is under construction. Hopefully, I will try to have that website ready to go by the beginning of the regular season. So thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I bid y'all have a good rest of your day. And I know a lot of y'all will see this probably later on today. I will holler at y'all. Give me your questions and comments. Subscribe to this channel. Push that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Before the season starts, I want to get to 700 subscribers. Get the word out. I want that done. And the fact of the matter is, on the preview show, on the season prediction show, I'm gonna put out. I'm gonna try to get some information, put out something, and whoever responds to it or whoever answers my special question, the first one is gonna get a gift from me. I have a gift I will send to you, a Titans gift. So definitely be ready for that and be in store. But I'm gonna holler at y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Tighten up. Let's get tight and tough, and let's win some stuff.